Let's play the Scandinavian defense for this time, and this is a rare move. Normally, white takes here on d5, so we have a better version of the French defense because we can get this bishop out of the pawn chain. First, I like to play c5, um, knight c6. I think these are common ways to develop the pieces, to put pressure on d4, and now I move the bishop to play e6 afterwards. Okay, I want to avoid a double pawn here, so this is why I play a queen a b6, and now let's play e6. We can think about playing c4 here, and whenever he plays d3 or d4 we can take on d3 en passant, but maybe white plays b3. b5, a4. I take here. It's not too good for me, but I like to play c4 anyway to get this bishop maybe to c5. I think this is a good square for the bishop, and afterwards I can move the knight. Okay, this is what I was talking about, to play c takes d3, the en passant move, and here you have different kind of options. I think this knight is quite good here. I'm also thinking about exchanging it. I mean, if he jumps to d4, it's an excellent square for the knight. But I can play knight f5 as well. Yeah, I like to take the knight here. It looks strange because you give up this bishop here, but I think the knight would be very good here on d4. Okay, this is just the idea to protect the knight on f5, because otherwise white could have played g4 maybe, and he gains a bit of space and can then kick the knight away. Now this knight is quite safe here on f5. Okay, here I wanted to play the bishop to c5, and when he plays e3 I will take here with the bishop, because I think the knight is stronger than the bishop here. Yeah, you can see that the bishop is on the same color as the pawns. Yeah, so if I want to, I can just exchange here the bishop anytime I like. Where do I move my king? Maybe to g7. It's true that I weaken the dark squares even more, but I think it's not easy for white to move his bishop on this diagonal. I can take the bishop here, for example, with my knight. So this is strange that he even, I mean, he okay, maybe he wants to provoke me to play b5, that the bishop here on c5 would be very strong. So let's move the king to g7 first. Whenever he plays h3 with the idea of g4, I will play h4. So he needs to play g3 first. Okay. But what about b6 now? I can also try to fight for the only semi-open file here, so I can take here maybe, and then enter on the C file. Another idea is to try to break in here on c4. Okay, now I play b6. Okay, this is to control c5. Yeah, and this was what I was talking about. He wants to play g4, but now this knight will stay here forever. Because what does he want to do? If he plays g4, I can play en passant, take here en passant again. So this knight is really, really strong now. Okay, so we have a very good position, but how can we improve? He doesn't want me to play rook a2, but I can enter on a3 as well. So let's do this. And afterwards, okay. Alright, let's give him the square c5, but on the other hand I have the a file. If he doesn't go to c5 now with the bishop, I will move my queen to c4, and there the queen will be very strong. I need to take care now about my time, but I think it's everything is fine at the moment. So now I like to enter here on the a file. I think he needs to play rook d3. This one. I can try to double up my rooks here on the third rank maybe. And attack this pawn again. I like to keep the rook. So, okay, let's enter on a2. Maybe I triple up the my pieces here. I really need to speed up. Rook a4 maybe. Okay, then queen a6, I think. Doesn't matter what he moves. Now let's enter here on a1.
Check.
Okay. I should move the rook to a1 maybe, h1. And then I try to move my queen to
time warning
a1, and I'm threatening terrible things here.
White forfeits on time.
Okay, he lost on time, but the position is already very difficult for white. I mean, you can see that the king is in very bad shape. I can enter with the queen here on g1 maybe. I can enter with the knight here. on g3, threatening rook f1 as well. And so I think this position is already won for black. And the whole game, I think, is interesting in the sense that you can see the domination of this knight versus the bishop. Normally you say a bishop is stronger than a knight, just a little bit, but in normal open games, bishops are very good. So in this case, however, you can see that the pawns of white are on black squares, a lot of pawns, and it's very difficult for the white bishop to attack something, yeah, or to come into the game. I mean, it would be very strong if the bishop would be here on f6, but how does he want to go to f6? Maybe he should try something like bishop e6 and bishop d8, bishop f6. This would be a good idea, but it's too slow. And on the other hand, this knight is very strong. I mean, it's stronger than the bishop in my view, and it controls a lot of squares around the white king, and it's not possible for white to get rid of this knight. How does he want to exchange it? It's not possible. If he plays g4, I will take here, and it's not possible to attack the knight with a pawn. It's also not possible to attack the knight with another knight or bishop, because it's a black squared bishop. And the rook, how does he want to manage to exchange here the knight? And even if he does, I mean, it's he's exchanged down. So and the idea was already starting at this point, yeah, to fight for the control of d4, and to have this beautiful square here on f5. This is why I played h5. I mean, it's not, maybe some people think I want to attack here, but this is not true. I just wanted to keep f5 as an outpost for my knight, and here the knight is already on f5. Maybe it would be better not to play knight e4, but to play bishop e3. White could be very happy if I exchange the knight, because the knight is quite strong. I wouldn't do this, and afterwards he can play knight d4, because then I can't play bishop c5 with check. So I think this is a slight mistake to play knight d4 in this position, and the reason is just because this bishop, in my opinion, in this position is worse than the knight. So here I can get rid of the knight, and you can see that this is at the moment just like a pawn. Yeah, it's not very useful here on d4, and the whole game, or the plan of black, is quite easy. Just to try to break through here on the queen side and take advantage of this beautiful knight.